Hi, this is Sive Morten with the daily update on EuroFX. I post my exclusive market overviews with the key political and economical events, charts and important levels on the ForexPeaceArmy.com forums weekly. This short video is a response to rapidly changing situation on the currency markets and should help you to stay on top of the game and be profitable. I suggest you to visit ForexPeaceArmy.com forum and read my analysis for the week before watching this daily video.
Welcome everybody. Today guys, we take a look at different currencies just because on the euro currency in particular we don't have something to talk about, so just minor details, and with these minor details we have on different currencies, so across the board, so Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, Great British pound, so each currency has some minor things that could become the background for some interesting trading steps in the beginning of the next week. And this is the reason why we just take a look briefly on few currencies, just to put some background, some foundation for our activity on the next week. So here, actually on the euro currency, nothing is going on, so it's just gradually is moving lower, but this action stands very slow, and OP still has not been reached yet. So we're waiting for this OP to consider taking the long position on the first touch of this area, because this is strong support, as I already explained that, and for the bulls that might be a great chance to take the position, especially when we will get some real response on this area. In a very short-term perspective, here market is forming some minor pennant consolidation on the fall from chart that on the hourly chart takes the shape of the butterfly. So theoretically, the market could try to complete some targets on the butterfly here in today's session, but we will see what will happen. So actually here we just do nothing and wait for reaching on a major target. If you have the bearish positions, you could keep them, just do not forget to manage the stop orders, especially before coming the weekend. So on the Great British pounds, also interesting situation. As you can see, yesterday we talked about the hand and shoulders that were forming here, and we said that be aware of the failure of this pattern because strong collapse stand right at the bottom of the right arm. Right here was just 2 days ago, and this is not a good sign for a hand and shoulders. And indeed, you can see the hand shoulders now is failing. Market erasing the bullish reversal swing that has been formed previously. It means two things for us. First of all, a nearest standing target that market could reach today stands the COP 35.62 approximately. It also agrees with the daily result, as you can see, so hardly market will break today. It's also confidence support that market is retesting. Potentially, deeper target stands at the OP in 31.80. It also creates an agreement with the 618 level. So that's potential that we also could keep an eye on, depending on what the situation will be, because recall our hand and shoulders that we talked about this. Left shoulder and hand might be right shoulder. It's not very symmetrical because the tops are almost equal, but the shape, as you can see, could recognize, especially it's important because the right arm stands significantly lower than the left one. Here's the power of the bulls. It seems not as strong as it was right here. So that's at least the potential to keep an eye on. So here we will consider reaction on the support, because on the intraday charts that might be some setups for a short-term pullback. This might be interesting for scalp traders on the intraday charts. But potentially it's also interesting what will happen next. That also could make impact on cross-currency. It's euro to Great British pound. So if you remember, we talked about this previously. On the weekly chart, we said that might be the double repo forming or something of that sort, because market here hasn't reached the fib level. Now, the bottom of the double repo starts looking a bit extended, which treats as a sign of weakness. But still, it might work. It's already starting to work, as you can see. If current week will close here, it will be confirmation of the double repo, as market shows the second close above the 3x3. And take a look, this was new lows had been formed. We talked about this OP that has not been completed totally here. Although some chance exists that market could turn up a bit earlier on the intraday charts, but this hasn't happened. Market just collapsed lower. So this week we could get the chance to confirm the OP that will suggest upward action here. with the shadow of the current price action in the cable and the euro currency, it seems that this action might be mostly a result of the weakness in the Great British pound. So that's another area to keep an eye on. Finally, or not finally, on the Australian dollar, our hand short is mostly completed. Market hits the XOP, but this acceleration suggests that maybe we could go lower here. Don't forget about our monthly chart. As we're watching here for the hand and shoulders on the Australian dollar with the bottom of the right arm approximately around 68 area. But if here will be very strong downside action, it also might be the same destiny as on the head shoulders on the British pound. That will be very bearish for Australian dollar, but we will see. For the monthly charts, it's not as typical, and the failure of any patterns should have some fundamental background. This is long-term chart, and it mostly reacts on fundamental events. So we will see what will happen. Finally, on the New Zealand dollar, here's very similar situations on the euro currency, as we said, but compared to the euro, New Zealand dollar almost has reached the OP. And around the conference support, that will be great support area. And if market will touch the OP today or complete OP today, next week, it is possible to search for some bullish reaction, to consider some intraday bullish patterns that might be formed here